I'm Rob. I'm a former military guy turned entrepreneur and attorney. So when I say I'm a former military guy, I was a major in the United States Marine Corps, and I was also, and I am also, an attorney. And I just want to put something up on the screen quickly because we're basically going to be talking about this, and that is trading up your life, doing better in your life than you're doing right now. And doesn't everybody want that? I know it's a lot of people's goals is to just do better in life. You don't have to be president of the United States. You don't have to be a CEO of a corporation. You don't have to be anything super fancy. You just want to do a little bit better in life. If that's what you want, I have a good show for you in store today. And today we're going to be talking about, we're going to have a few, I'm going to show you some videos. And these videos are going to be of Joe Rogan and Chris Williamson. And there's another guy that I was really interested in. He's a stock, he's an investor. And you're going to see this video and you're going to see for yourself why this guy seems to be pretty trustworthy just by the way he's dressed. And then we have a video by Alex Hormozi and Grant Cardone. And we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence can get you to where you want to be in life with a little less work than you might be used to now. Artificial intelligence is really, it's almost like a magic pill. I don't know if you saw the movie Limitless, where the character takes this medication and he was like a real kind of down on his luck guy, lost his girlfriend, lives in a lousy apartment, can't pay his rent, doesn't have a job, and he takes this pill. I forget what the name of the medication was. I love the movie. And when he took the medication, he became superhuman. He started to think better. He started to act better. He got a job. He got his girlfriend back. He got a nicer apartment. Actually, he became a superhuman. With artificial intelligence, you're going to be, it's the next thing to being superhuman as a human being because it levels the playing field. If you can't write very well, artificial intelligence, the chatbots like ChatGPT and Google Bard and Perplexity and Mistral. And there's a new one that I use quite a bit. And let's see if I can get this on the screen for you. But it's Bing Chat. It's Copilot. And I think it's a really, really good way to use artificial intelligence. The drawback with this artificial intelligence is it doesn't allow you to, I'm trying to get this up on the screen now, just bear with me. It doesn't allow you to an unlimited amount of uses each day. So like with it used to. So with, let's say Google Bard anyway, with Google Bard you can, and I use it all the time. This is what I'm talking about right here. With Google Bard, you can use it all day long. Oh, you can't even see it. Let's see. Here we go. So with this is called Copilot. And if you have any, I can show you how to use it, but this isn't what this stream is about today. It's not about how to use the various chatbots. It's about how you can get ahead in life. And it's about the weekend is here and Monday is coming up sooner than you know. It's already Saturday evening here in Massachusetts, and soon it's going to be Sunday, and then all of a sudden it's Monday morning and you're back to work. And I know a lot of people who watch my channel have the hope, the dream to maybe to become their own boss or to become a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, to make a business, maybe just to be able to invest let's say in stocks or bonds, or have better relationships. Who doesn't want that, right? So that's what this stream is going to be about today. And like I say, if you have some questions about artificial intelligence, we can put it in this chatbot right here called not Google, it's called Microsoft Copilot. I use it all the time. Again, one of the drawbacks to Copilot is that it doesn't have unlimited uses every day. So I thought that was a pretty big, actually, drawback. So let's get to some of the videos that I said that we were going to be watching. And the first one, again, has to do with your success. I'm writing a book. It's called Breaking the Fourth Wall. And I won't give you a whole lot of details, but that book is about breaking through invisible barriers that we all face in our lives. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we say, I want to do this. I want to get this far in life. Why haven't I got this far in life? I've asked the question myself. And so I'm writing a book about it. And it's called Breaking the Fourth Wall. But let's watch Joe Rogan. And I like how he says this. He's a really articulate guy. So let's listen to his video.
One of my favorite quotes ever, because it's true. Most men live lives of quiet desperation. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. You have to.
So that's what we were talking about earlier, is living a life of quiet desperation and getting out of that quiet desperation. So on Monday morning, you're not going to be saying to yourself, why didn't I do something on the weekend to at least put my life in a forward position?
To put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And then you have to have a plan. And you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever shit job you do planning your escape. Do it like your life depends on it. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Your life does depend on it, actually. So what he's saying is, if you have a 9-to-5 job, then yes, do the 9-to-5 job, do the best that you can in that 9-to-5 job. And when you get out of that 9-to-5 job, use your time to improve yourself. That's what he's saying. Use every waking moment to improve yourself. And I'll tell you a little story about myself, that when I started doing videos a few years ago, I'm an attorney. As I said at the beginning of this broadcast, I'm a former major in the United States Marine Corps. And what I did when I started this channel is that I spent, like Joe Rogan just said, every waking moment that I could outside of my normal responsibilities, and tried to build up my knowledge on how to do videos. And that's exactly what he's saying. So you can apply it to your own life. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then after you're done with your 9-to-5 job, read books on entrepreneurship or read books on the best business models to start as a solopreneur. That's what he's saying. And you can do it. It's possible to do it. It doesn't seem possible sometimes, but it is possible. And I think what he says is so important, we should really listen to it again and let it sink in.
Quotes ever, because it's true. Most men live lives of quiet desperation. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. You have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And
so when he says put aside enough money to have a window, what he's saying is that if you're going to be going out on your own after your 9-to-5 job, that you should have some money in the bank to fall back on. When I started this channel, I thought it would take off in a matter of months, but it's been years, and it's right. I mean, if you want to success in life, at the beginning of this video, I was in the Marine Corps, and you would think that when you were in the Marine Corps that you would learn some certain skills, or you would, let's Okay, here we go. Why don't I just put this up here? They would come into the barracks in the morning and just tear apart the lockers and throw everything on the ground, start yelling at everybody. One time we went on we called it a hump, and it was a 10-mile hump, a hike, you could say. And you had your backpacks on and your rifles, and you're going through this terrain, going up and down hills and carrying heavy equipment. And at the end of that 10 miles, you're pretty tired and pretty winded, and you just want to sit down and try to catch your breath. Well, the drill instructors had us stand at attention for probably a half an hour after that, and they were screaming and yelling at us, hoping that one of us would faint or fall down or fall out of line. None of us did. But the point I was trying to make was, in the Marine Corps, you would think that the drill instructors would be trying to build up the confidence or build up the self-esteem of the Marines in the Marine Corps, but that's not what happens. It doesn't come from without. Confidence doesn't come from the drill instructors into the Marines. It comes from the Marines' heart. It comes from the Marine soul. And that's where it would come from you too. You can't really expect external validation, because if you do, chances are that's not going to take place. You're not going to get it. So I like to think of confidence or feeling good about yourself as coming from within, not from without. And it's the same with every profession, no matter what you do in life. You might be in a job that you don't like. You might be in a job that the boss is not very pleasant, or your coworkers aren't very pleasant. Again, I saw a movie one time, and it was a movie about, I think it was prisoners of war. And they were all out on like an exercise field, and they had to stretch out their arms and have weights in their arms or something. It was kind of a form of just to beat the prisoners down, just to try to break their minds down. And one guy was always able to just keep his arms out and keep the weights out to his side without dropping them and without getting the attention of the guards who were watching everybody. Of course, if you drop something like that, they'd scream and yell and probably do even worse. I can't remember the details of the movie, but this guy's secret was to stay inside of his mind, to keep his arms outstretched and not think about the pain in his arms, but think about something else in his mind. So this video is about what you can do during the weekend to make Monday morning a springboard of activity for you so that you can get to where you want in life. It doesn't come quickly. As I had explained earlier about this YouTube channel, it's a slow process. Everything in life, I mean, not too many things in life come quickly. I haven't seen too many people make overnight success. It hasn't happened in my life. It's taken a long time. In order to become an attorney, you have to do 4 years of college and then 3 years of law school, and then pass a bar examination. So it's a long time. So that did not come easy, and it did not come without a lot of effort and a lot of time. The Marine Corps was the same thing. Joined the Marine Corps after law school. It was a lot of training. It was 3 months of basic training, then 6 months of officers training, then another few months out into the field, and then another few months of specialized training. So by the time you got to your unit, it was a long time. I consider the Marine Corps as kind of an area to just learn too. It was difficult. It was difficult, but again, the point I'm trying to make is things do not come quickly or easily in life. So my philosophy is take little steps. And you probably have all heard the story about when the best time to plant a tree is. And if you heard the story, it's pretty profound, but simple. And that is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. But what's the next best time to plant a tree? And it's right now. So if you haven't done something in the past, then there's plenty of time to do it now. And there's opportunities abounding everywhere. There's limitless opportunities in my mind. And I could go on and on about this subject, but if you look at my Twitter account, and I don't have this up right now, but I could put it up here. If you look at my Twitter account, I was talking about opportunities today in some of the tweets. And those tweets, if I can get that up here, and I'm not sure if I can, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see here. I was talking about opportunities and how there's always opportunities. Sometimes we think that there isn't always opportunities. Oh, that's not it. Well, yeah, here it is. There's so many tabs open here. It's hard to get them all open. Sorry about that, guys. I can't get it open. So I talk about, if you want, I can leave it in the description, but it's at Rob McCarthy Jr. on Twitter. And if you look at that, I was talking about the different opportunities that we have in life. And some of those opportunities we're going to miss, unfortunately. If I look at some of the opportunities that I missed in life, I would disappoint myself greatly. I mean, there's all kinds of like real estate opportunities, business opportunities, partnerships, syndications, branching out from law. I don't even want to go on, but the best news is that we don't have to worry about that because there's opportunities that abound at every turn in our lives. And one of those opportunities, one thing I want to give you kind of a metaphor or an analogy or a story, and that is about water and air. Think about air. Take a deep breath and breathe out. And I've said this a bunch of times. You're not, unless you have a medical condition or the air that you're breathing is pretty dirty, you're not afraid of running out of air because there's always more. And it's the same with water. At least it is in Massachusetts. There's plenty of water, and it's probably too much water here. At this point, it's been raining and kind of snowing a bunch this winter, so we're certainly not in any kind of drought. But if you think of water and you go to your faucet and you turn it on and you drink as much as you want, you couldn't drink as much water as there is coming out of that faucet. It's the same thing with money. Think of the Federal Reserve and think about trillions of dollars. And I did a video on this one time, but the monetary system contains trillions of dollars, and it's all based on debt. And that debt needs people to take out loans in order to I guess, fabricate new money in order to get new money in the system. I could explain that too, but what happens is people take out loans, banks get to loan out more money, and more money gets into the system. You take out a loan on your house, or you get a mortgage. That mortgage creates more money, creates value for you because now you own a house. And eventually that house, even if it was just because of, I'm turning on my heater, even if it was just because of inflation, would go up in value by about 3 or 4% a year. So you get the point. There's plenty of everything. And, you know, let's look at some of these videos again, because I think it's important. But this is a good one too. This is Chris Williamson. And if you watch a lot of YouTube like I do, you're going to notice Chris Williamson. I think he's a really smart guy. He has a lot of good ideas. And there's a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube and social media who come at information, who give you information. And that information is not something that, whoops, what happened here? That information is not something that comes off in a positive fashion. And when you see somebody coming across negatively, it's your signal to run. And I'll tell you why. It's because of something called confirmation bias. And confirmation bias is something and I was talking about artificial intelligence earlier. And if you go to any of those chatbots that I discussed and you put in what is confirmation bias, or tell it to, and this is not talking about bias in the form of racism or sexism or any ism. It's something in your mind that could slow you down from achieving success in life. That is confirmation bias. So we were talking about negativity. Chris Williamson is the opposite of negativity. He's positivity. So if you start watching videos or reading information or subscribing to people who are negative, confirmation bias says that you're going to start bringing that information into your life. You're going to start looking for things that confirm what you think. So if you think life is good and there's plenty of opportunities in life, then you're going to start finding videos like mine, and you're going to start seeing things like Chris Williamson, who talks about information that can get you further in life. And let's listen to what he has to say.
A friendly reminder that in 3 generations, everyone who knew us will be dead, including the people whose opinions stopped you from doing what you wanted all along. Imagine that someone you know achieves every dream and hits every goal they have. Years later, they get old and die. 2 years after that, how much do you care? About as much as everyone else will if you accomplish your goals and dreams. Do it for you.
So what he's doing, and it's kind of coming across in an emotional manner, is that he's saying that you only live once. And because you only live once, I have to keep reminding myself of this, that you just have to go for it. If you don't go for it, then what good is life? I mean, if you don't take chances in life, if you don't take risks in life, like he just said, I mean, we haven't watched the entire video, but we will. If you don't take chances in life, then you're going to waste your life. And let's just watch exactly. Let's see what he has to say, because let's watch the rest of this. Now, this is Alex Hormozi.
So I think about death all the time because it's probably the central theme. It's probably the thing that I think the most about, and I think that influences how I see time, and also how I think how it influences agency, like what actions I'm willing to take despite the judgment of others. And so a lot of times, and it might be because I have more insecurity than everyone, that I think like, man, I want to do this thing, and then I hear all these other voices of reasons why I shouldn't do it, or why somebody else will say, like.
So again, he's talking about hearing voices, about voices of doubt, and the whole video is about we're all gonna die one day, and that's not a pleasant thing to think about. But the pleasant thing to think about, the motivation in that is, we have to take risks in life. We have to go out and do it, because if you watched earlier, and I was talking about the Marine Corps, you're not going to get external validation from many people. Not too many people are going to give you a pat on the back and say, that a boy, go out and do what you want to do. I'm 100% behind you. I don't think I've ever heard really anybody say that in my life. Maybe except for people that are close to me. Maybe my father at one point, but you're going to hear voices in your head, like Alex Hormozi just said, saying you don't have enough, you're not capable enough, you're going to fail. Why do it? It's going to be a waste of time. Why do it? Because you only live once. And if you don't do it, then you're never going to have a chance to do it, and you'll never know what you're capable of doing.
That's bad, or you're bad, or like that's wrong, whatever. And so I think I've had to come up with a lot of these devices to get around my own insecurities, to take action despite those insecurities. And the biggest one that I think about is that it doesn't matter whether I achieve all of my goals or I don't achieve all of the goals. In 3 generations, I'll be forgotten, and the only people who were naysaying against me will also be dead.
So in 3 generations, he's saying nobody is going to remember you. I do remember. Well, I remember my grandmother, so that would be 3 generations. And probably more like 4 generations, nobody will remember you. So if that's the case, and it doesn't matter if somebody remembers you or not, none of us are going to be president of the United States, or maybe not even the CEO of a corporation, but we are going to be responsible, but we are responsible for our own lives. We're responsible for the direction of our lives. We're responsible for where our lives go. And if you want to get someplace in life, take action. And you might think to yourself, well, you know what's going on here, but you might think to yourself, well, people are going to judge me, like Alex Hormozi just said, or people aren't going to support me, like Chris Williamson said. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, because you're the only one that counts. You're the one that has to make the decision. You're the one that has to do things in life. And if you don't do them, nobody else is going to do them for you. If you're interested in partnering, if you're interested in getting together with like-minded individuals, shoot me an email on my YouTube account. I'd love to talk to you. Maybe we can come up with some. I have some ideas, actually. There's this real estate syndication ideas. There's syndication ideas about putting together investors to buy underperforming franchises, like, let's say, McDonald's or Planet Fitnesses, you name it. I think of any popular franchise that you can think of. Some of those franchises are underperforming, and if put a team together and you syndicate your resources, then you can form a really great business. And I did a video on this earlier, a live stream, and it seems to me to be kind of a difficult thing to do these live streams. I haven't had a whole lot of success with them, but that doesn't stop me from doing it, because every time I get on a live stream, I learn something from myself, which might seem crazy, but nevertheless I do. So I want to see my profile. So this is my profile on Twitter. And it says, tired of chasing your dreams that ghost you, I can help. And that's what this YouTube channel is all about. It's about me sharing what's worked in my life with you. And I'm in the process of writing a book, and it's about breaking through barriers, invisible barriers that hold us back. And I won't even get into the details, but it's going to be a great book, and I can hardly wait to show you guys what it is. So again, I am a former major in the United States Marine Corps, and that's why it says military grit plus lawyer's brain. I'm an attorney and entrepreneur's hustle. I consider myself an entrepreneur. I've had businesses in the past, mainly centering on digital businesses like blogs and social media, like this YouTube channel or this Twitter channel. So I did this video earlier, and this was about how to become unstoppable. I thought it was a pretty good video. So the point of this video is to become unstoppable. And how do you become unstoppable? It first begins in my mind, and it should begin in your mind too. Wherever you are, like in life, wherever you are, where you go in life, whether it's a job, to the supermarket, to a grocery store, just have confidence in yourself. Believe that you're unstoppable and invincible. And the way that you get that confidence is doing things. If you want to do videos, get on a live stream and do videos. If you want to write. If you want to have a blog, do a blog. It doesn't matter if you reach 1 million people. I'm hardly reaching anybody with this live stream. And as I said, it doesn't matter, because I'm giving good information. Not only am I giving good information, I'm giving valuable information away that I could easily charge for. So take it. I'm giving it to you. You can take it, and it's on all my social media channels. I'm not even going to get into monetization, but why not take advantage of somebody that's been there and that can give you some information and that you can apply to your own life, so that Monday morning you don't have to think about, oh, I have to do the same thing all week long. I can't believe it. It's like, okay, so Monday morning comes along and you do what you normally do. You know, the alarm goes off and you hit snooze and you wait and you sleep for 15 more minutes, and then you hit snooze again, and you finally get up in 45 minutes and you're late for work. And then you get to work and you're dragging your butt around at work. Why? What I do in the morning is I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I can hardly wait to get up from bed. Sometimes I can't even sleep at night because I want to get up in the morning so bad. And I have plenty of energy. I go to the gym, and you should too. If you want to get in shape for 2024, start today. Start stretching out. Start doing easy exercises, something that's going to get you into a better mindset. Why is this on here? Did you hear that video? That doesn't matter. I'm going to go back to here. So get in shape for 2024. Get your mind in shape. Get your body in shape. There's nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. And you know what? There's nothing that we can't do if we put our corporate minds together. And when I say that, I mean you and I and everybody else who wants to join in on this channel. Tell your friends about this channel. If you are watching this on a live stream, on a replay, then tell your buddies about it, because they're going to get some motivation and they're going to want to do better in their life. And I show you examples on how to do it. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to watch one of these videos, and I want you to notice on this video how this man looks. And then we're going to compare it with another video, because one of the aspects, something that I'd like to tell everybody is that you can watch videos, you can read information, but how do you tell the truth? How do you tell whether somebody is legitimate or sincere? Well, I think you can tell by their body language and the tone of their voice how they come across. So let's look at this guy, if we can. And let's listen to what he has to say about making money.
Do you want to be the first millionaire in your family? Here are my 3 best tips to help you achieve it. Number 1, start investing early and often. And don't listen to the fake gurus that tell you need 20 to 50 grand to get started. That's just bullshit.
So the first thing he says is to start investing early and often. That's great advice. It's like, that's what I tell everybody. That's what I tell my family and friends. You have to start early and often. And when is the best time to start? Like we talked about earlier about that story about the tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. If there's an opportunity in front of you, take it. Don't cry about whether or not you should have taken it 20 years ago. Take action and do it now. So that means if you're 18 years old, learn how to invest. And it's pretty easy and it's pretty safe. And this isn't investment advice, but look at Vanguard mutual funds. Look at the total stock market Vanguard mutual fund that invests in a broad range of stock market stocks. And this isn't a video on stocks, but look at that. Look at the Vanguard Wellington Fund. Look at the Vanguard Total Bond Market Fund. There's ups and downs in the stock market, but for the most part, it goes up. So if you're a long-term investor and you keep your money in an investment over a long period of time, that and you keep putting money into that account, let's say you invest $50, $100 a month, then that money is going to grow. It's going to compound and it's going to grow over the years. And you're going to have a sizable chunk of money depending upon how long you let that money sit and compound. What I was going to say was, let's listen to what he has to say.
Find a way to save $50 to $100 a week starting out and let compounding do the rest. And number two,
So he was talking about compounding and $50 to $100 a month too. What I wanted to remind everybody of, because I think about it too sometimes, like opportunities are gone. So if you're 18 years old, you might think, well, okay, I had plenty of time. Well, life goes by really, really quick. So you might not have as much time as you think. And if you're 80 years old or 90 years old, you have as much time as anybody else. We all have the same amount of time in a day, and that's 24 hours. Some of that time we have to sleep during that time. So don't worry how old you are. If you're 18 or you're 90, there's still time to take advantage of some of these opportunities. And what I asked everybody was to observe how this guy is dressed, whether or not you would trust him with investment advice.
you have to change your mindset. When you get money, rather than thinking about what can I buy, think about how can I invest it. And number three.
So what he's saying is, instead of being a consumer, to be a creator. And there's a big difference. We live in a consumer society, which means that we go out and we buy things all the time. We live in such a consumer society that those rental places where you put junk in, they're all over the place. That's an indication of how much our society values junk. And if you're a viewer of this channel, I would encourage you not to accumulate junk. And what this investor is saying is, don't be a consumer. And if you look around your house, you probably see all kinds of junk that you paid money for, good money for, that you didn't need and that you could spend instead of spending, $50 on, I don't know, a rug or that you're not going to use, or something to hang on the wall that you're never going to hang up. Then put that $50 into a Vanguard mutual fund. Again, this is not investment advice. You're going to have to do your own research. But there's all kinds of safe investment opportunities out there. And that's what he's talking about. Don't use your money to consume. Use your money to create.
Swap out 3 time sucks, you know what they are, and use that time to learn 2 new skill sets. If you do this for 3 to 6 months, you can easily add 2 more income streams and you'll be on your way.
So I'm not sure if you could add 2 income streams, but he's saying, to recap what he said that invest early and often, to be a consumer, be a creator, not a consumer. In other words, use the money that you spend on junk to invest or put it into a business, and take the stuff that you do all the time, like if you watch Netflix or listen to podcasts or things that podcasts actually could get you to become, if you watch the right podcast, you could learn on how to make your life better. So I'm not going to say that could be a time suck, but like Netflix could be, or whatever you do. I don't know what it is because I don't actually have too many time sucks in my own life. But if you get rid of those, he's saying that you could add 2 more income streams to your life. Well, if you use the time that you wasted to make a business, then you could form an income stream on that. But as far as an income stream investing, it's been my experience anyway, that it takes a while, years. It's totally worth it to invest. But if you're in it for the long term, but you're not going to get a passive income stream in 6 months by investing $50 or $100 a month, you'll definitely get to where you want in life in a few years, but you're not going to get to a passive income stream. This woman had a lot of. I thought she had a lot of. I thought she had a good mindset. Let's listen to what she has to say.
When you go to the grocery store and you spend $200 on groceries and it stresses you out and you feel like, damn, I just spent $200 on groceries. Well, no, you didn't. You spent $200 and you exchanged that energetic currency for $200 worth of health.
So think about it. The guy that we just saw in the previous videos said something about be a consumer, be a creator, not a consumer. She is not necessarily talking about being a consumer. She's saying that, yeah, you go out and you work hard at your job and you buy things that you need, like food, and that gives you energy, and you're not holding tightly onto the assets like money that you have. And that money that you spent on food, you put into your body, which creates energy. So let's take it a step further, or another step. Let's say that you own a home and you have to put a roof, you have to replace the roof, let's say. That's an expensive job. Let's say it costs $15,000 to replace your roof. You might think, oh, my bank account just got drained by $15,000. Well, it hasn't. I mean, it did, but like she said, it got transferred from your bank account to the roof. So it increased the value of your home, and it made your home safer and more secure, because rain and snow and wind can't get in your house. That means that you're going to be happier in your house, you're going to be warm and safe, and you'll have a place to think and maybe start a business. So you can kind of wonderful start upward with money.
Every time I'm thinking, wow, that something that equal for you. And so by thinking about it like that, my abundance never lacks, right? It never goes away, because whenever I spend money, I still have it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
So it's good. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this video, but it goes with the theme of what we're talking about today. And that is an abundance mindset, understanding that there's opportunities everywhere in life. And that if we just look around and we have this mindset of abundance, that we have assets and we can use them. And when we use the assets, they come back to us. And we can invest, we can add income streams, we can be creators instead of consumers. I just want to do one more video if I can see this one. I'm not sure if this is the one. This is the one I wanted to show you. And I wanted you to think of that video of the guy who was kind of dressed up in a sweatshirt, and he was walking around with his blue jacket, and it was open. And I think he seemed like a man that could be trusted to me. He looked like he was genuine. I mean, I'm not sure whether or not I loved the language that he was using, but I do think that he was trustworthy and that he had good ideas. Now, compare his video with this woman's video. That guy with the blue jacket on and the vest, the sweater, whatever it was, the hoodie, looking like a regular guy that you might see walking down the street. And look at this woman. I mean, this woman is claiming to have information on what makes somebody rich. So she has a nice haircut. She's wearing, looks like expensive jewelry. She has earrings on. She's wearing a blue blazer. And looks like there's an expensive background. Now, I want you to think about that, because look at my background. Look at the way I'm dressed. And I'm not trying to impress anybody. And I I hope you believe me. I hope you think I'm a trustworthy individual. I know I am. However, if you looked at the background of my video, let's just kind of look at that kind of quickly. It's not fancy. It's not fancy at all. You can see my earphones, earbuds, whatever they are, sticking out of my head. But on the other hand, I don't have to prove anything to anybody because I know who I am. And as I state, I know what I am, I should say, because there's a difference between what you do and who you are. As I said at the beginning, my name is Rob. I'm a former United States Marine Corps officer. I am an attorney, a practicing attorney in private practice in the Boston, Massachusetts area. And I am an entrepreneur. So I have businesses, the digital businesses. So I consider myself a digital entrepreneur. Now, if you look at the background, you probably wouldn't guess what I just told you about myself. Maybe you would, I don't know. It doesn't matter because I know what I am and I give valuable information and I share it with you in the hopes that you are going to get something out of it in your own life. And in turn, you'll make other people's lives better. So that's not the one I wanted to say. Let's say this is the one. Let's see if we can get back. So here we go. So look at this woman, look at the video previously, look at my background, and then say to yourself, ask yourself, would you trust this woman with her information?
People do that they do not want you to find out. Number one, we never pay full price. When you shop, consolidate with a store or one shop assistant.
So she's talking, so she's using the pronoun we for one thing. So she's implying that she's rich. I don't know if she's rich or not. She might be wealthy. I have no idea. She's implying that she's rich, first of all. And second of all, she's saying we, meaning rich people, never pay full price. That's untrue. People who have money value time over money. So if paying full price means saving time, that means people with money will pay full price.
That way, you make sure you get the best possible deal.
I hope you can hear this because I can't hear it very well.
When I go to a restaurant, I ask to speak to the maitre d'. When I go to a hotel, I ask to speak to the general manager.
So she's saying that when she goes to a restaurant, she goes to the head maitre d'. Now think about that. If she wanted to save money by shopping in Costco and never paying full price, why would she go to a fancy restaurant that had a maitre d'? So again, look at that video of the guy that was giving some simple investment advice that we looked at previously, and look at this woman who claims to be rich, and then tell me who you would take advice from.
Manager, why the maitre d'? Why not the waiter? Because he's the person singularly responsible for making sure you have the best experience. Number three, we cultivate our relationships. So that maitre d', that general manager, that person who made sure I had a good time will receive a thank.
So cultivate, she's saying cultivate relationships, but she's not talking about cultivating relationships like you should be doing, like networking with people. She's talking about making sure the hired help likes her by her giving them extra money and tips. So, boo, I don't really think I like this woman's advice.
Hello, how are you doing? Thanks
You
again
take
for
it or
all
leave
your
it, it's
help.
up to
I really
you.
appreciate it.
I think one more
That
video that
the
we can
next
watch,
time
if
you
I can
visit
get
the
it up here.
establishment-
It's Grant Cardone. I think he's pretty wrong on this. He's saying that he wouldn't touch artificial intelligence. And I'm not sure when he made this video, but artificial intelligence is just at this point in my life. He's talking about blockchain. And blockchain used to be like, and cryptocurrency NFTs, non-fungible tokens, used to be a few years ago all the rage. So everybody was into a blockchain, which is the software, I guess you could say, that runs cryptocurrency, and that you can exchange ideas kind of over without giving up your privacy. That's in a nutshell. It was such a popular topic, and it was gaining momentum. It was gaining so much momentum that Mark Zuckerberg changed the name of Facebook to Meta, and Meta was based on the blockchain technology. He's saying that artificial intelligence is going to go the same way that blockchain and NFTs and cryptocurrencies went. I don't think so. And we can talk about this more. And I love artificial intelligence. And even if artificial intelligence just stayed the way it is right now, it would just be it would level the field for so many people. And it does level the field so quickly. If you can't write, if your ability to write is like, you have to be able to read, but if your ability to write is lacking, then you can be an expert writer just by asking ChatGPT or one of the other chatbots to write you something, and then just keep tweaking it. If you want to start a business and don't have any ideas, you can use artificial intelligence to come up with ideas. If you do YouTube videos and you want to write a script for that YouTube video, you can do that with artificial intelligence. If you want to start a business and you don't know where to start, you can use artificial intelligence to start that business. If you can write a little bit of code and know how to implement it, you can ask artificial intelligence to write you software code, and that software code will be written. And there's no code software apps now that you can put together blocks of information to write software, to build apps. So let's hear what Grant has to say. And we're not going to stay on this live stream too much longer, but let's hear what he has to say.
AI, I wouldn't touch it right now. I would touch the stuff around it that's going to support AI. Most of these people coming up with another chat device are going to fail. This is the internet of the 2000s.
Well, if he's talking about investing in stocks that are doing artificial intelligence, there's some big valuations in artificial intelligence in that area. I just read about 11 labs, and I believe that they just got $1 billion valuation, so they hit unicorn status. There is a lot of opportunity, and I don't even think that is a public company right now, so it would be pre-IPO. You couldn't even invest in it at this point. Don't take that word as gospel. I'm not 100% sure if they're pre-IPO or not, but
thousands, it will collapse, will fall in on itself. Everything surrounding the blockchain, yeah, it's probably going to be a lot cooler. The supported things, the mechanisms around the blockchain, to me, are more interesting than
I think I don't know about cryptocurrency or blockchain. I have the feeling that it's going to be around for a long time. And some of the cryptocurrencies could be an investment opportunity if you're willing to take a pretty big risk. And as we were talking about earlier, there's ways to invest your hard-earned money that will, with little risk, allow a pretty good return over a number of years. So cryptocurrency, whether or not it will continue on the way it's going right now, I don't know. I mean, think of Bitcoin and some of the drawbacks that Bitcoin has. I mean, if you own Bitcoin and you got in on it a long time ago, congratulations. Well, you're probably relatively wealthy right now. But think of one of the major drawbacks to any cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, and that is it's not a really good medium of exchange. So as an attorney, I've done a lot of real estate closings. And when you go to a real estate closing, you exchange money. Some person gives up the deed to the property and the buyers give the sellers money. Usually that is, I mean, all the time now it's an electronic transfer, but it used to be checks or a long, long time ago. You could even do it in cash. I haven't seen that for ages, but so think of Bitcoin. Let's say that you wanted to pay for a real estate transaction in Bitcoin and you wanted to sell your house hypothetically for $1 million. It was a good house, a nice house in a nice area, and you say, I want to sell this for $1 million. And you find a buyer. And let's say a real estate agent finds a buyer. And the buyer says, well, I'll give you $1 million worth of Bitcoin right now. What it's worth right now. So I'm going to give you 5 Bitcoin. Let's say 10 Bitcoin to round it off. 10 Bitcoin is worth $1 million. So you write in the contract, I will pay the buyer, I will pay the seller. The buyer says, I will pay the seller 10 Bitcoins on February 1st, 2024. Everybody's happy. Great, 10 Bitcoins. So the real estate agent gets 4% of the 10 Bitcoins, and that was worth $1 million on today's date, whatever it is. You get to the closing and they say, okay, here's the deed. Where's my 10 Bitcoins? And the buyers give the seller 10 Bitcoins, and all of a sudden the price of Bitcoin went down. And now that 10 Bitcoin is only worth $500,000, and the seller lost $500,000 in value anyway, and the real estate agent just lost half of their commission. So it could work in the reverse too. I mean, the Bitcoin could be worth $1.5 million, and the buyer is, the seller is the buyer. You know, the buyer is saying to themselves, I just lost $500,000. And the seller is like, wow, I got $500,000 more than I thought I would get at this real estate closing. And the real estate agent is saying, oh, I just made a lot more in my real estate commission. So that just the exchange of value has to be solved before any cryptocurrency can be like an immediate exchange of value, like the United States dollar, the euro or peso, whatever it is, or a yen. So I'm going to end this stream, and I just want to say thank you for those of you that will watch this stream on the rebroadcast. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched this. I know I appreciate you more than you would know. So again, my name is Rob McCarthy. I am a former military guy turned entrepreneur and attorney. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.